There's a cricket in here. Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1. If it's your birthday, I want to wish you a happy birthday. If it's not your birthday, I want you to watch this video or some other ETCG1 video, because we always do this at the beginning, on your birthday, and I will wish you a happy birthday then. How's that? We're all happy? Great. What I'd like to discuss today is a response to the metric system video that I did not long ago. I didn't respond to the comments. I read the comments. I didn't respond directly to them because I was quite surprised at the response that I got. For those of you not familiar, I did a video not long ago about the metric system. And in that video, what I intended to suggest was incorporating more of the metric system into my Eric the Car Guy videos. Namely, I speak in terms of miles per hour and inches and feet and those types of things. And I was wondering if it might be better to move towards the metric system. It's my perception that the rest of the world is using the metric system, aside from 3 countries. If I remember right, it's the United States, Burma, or Myanmar, and there was one other country that still followed the quote-unquote imperial system. But that being said, it was my assumption that the countries that were using the metric system were 100% metric. That is incorrect. I found that out through the comments. You told me that there's still a mix out there, especially in the construction industry. You go out to buy lumber, you're buying a 2x4 or a 4x8 or something like that. You're not buying it in a metric denomination, which I found interesting, even in places where the metric system. I heard from all over. I heard from Chile and Denmark and the UK and everywhere. And thank you for the response, because I learned a lot from that. And that's what's so great about having this channel, having you as an audience, is that you're all over the place. And I get a chance to learn a lot of things I wouldn't normally learn. The internet is great. My original intent was to, hey, what do you guys think of me using more of the metric system in my videos, sort of converting over to metric? And I was, as I said, impressed with the response, but also somewhat surprised at the response, because some people were downright mean about it. And there were arguments that ensued about things that went far beyond the metric / SAE system. And that's something I should also bring up. I was talking about the imperial system, and actually the system that we used in fractions of an inch and all that is the SI standard or something. It's not actually the imperial system, so I got that wrong. But still, I was surprised to find out that many people in the world are using a mix of both metric and the old imperial system. So there doesn't seem to be anybody out there that's 100% metric. Also, some really good points that were brought up. One, I wish I could remember the viewer, but he was like, okay, well, if you are gonna do this, then you should fully commit to doing this. You shouldn't like put a split between, you know, a metric and a regular type of measurement, I want to say imperial again, an SI measurement as next to a metric measurement, because that would just create confusion and help perpetuate the problem. If I truly wanted to switch over and convert to the metric system, I would force myself into doing the metric system and force the viewers to do the same thing. Well, in theory that sounds great, but in practice I don't think it would work out, especially for new viewers. I get new viewers all the time on both of these channels, so I need to respect that. To that end, and a lot of people suggested I go to sort of a hybrid. I'm not going to throw away all my SAE tools. That's just not practical. I'm not throwing away the quote-unquote old system. I'm just looking to incorporate more of the metric system, which seems to be a more globally accepted unit of measurement, or whatever you want to call it. It's a reference point. That's all it is. It's just easier math. I mean, they both do the same thing. They both give you a frame of reference. They're just labels on a frame of reference. That's what measurement is. So that everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what that measurement is. And then we all know what we're talking about in those frames of reference. So going forward, my thought is I would like to incorporate more of the metric system. I'm not going to completely convert to the metric system because, you know, I'm an old dog. I'm learning a new trick here. I'm going to need some time to figure it out. But whenever I do this, I'm going to scratch my head and say, the next time I find myself saying miles per hour at 60 miles per hour, okay, it's also 100 kilometers per hour. And I might just throw those things out there just to give you the frame of reference so that there's some comparison. So 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, virtually the same thing. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to completely throw away the SAE system. Not going to do that. Not throwing away those tools. Going to keep them. I mean, I'm working on the Mustang. I mean, that thing is right around that time where we started switching and doing more metric stuff. And yes, it's a 302 cubic inch engine, but shortly after that, around that time, they started calling it a 5-liter. Well, it's actually a 306 cubic inch, which I think comes out to closer to 5 liters, if I'm not mistaken. But that's my point. I just want to explore that a little more. And when I look up measurements, when I go through that engine, those are all going to be in fractions of an inch. They're not going to be in millimeters. So there are times where I'm going to have to use it. Also, I will throw this out there. A lot of my videos are shot well in advance. I keep a stock of videos around, and you're like, well, Eric, just put them out all at once. No, it doesn't work that way. There's things that I need to do. Sometimes I need to take some time off, that type of thing. There's a lot of time and energy that goes into doing what I'm doing. It's good to have a stock in the bank, in the vault, that I can choose from. So my point in mentioning is you're not going to see me rolling out this new metric philosophy right away. It will be slowly incorporated in future videos. So don't get on my case. Eric, you said inches in there. That's not what this is about. This is about just taking a look at the global climate about this issue and confronting it in my own little way. If you're watching my show and you enjoy watching my show and you do this kind of thing, well, maybe me using that system will help you understand it better, incorporate it into your lives better, and maybe we'll move forward. Maybe we won't, maybe we will. A lot of people brought up the fact that just going around changing the signs on the highway from, 200 miles to whatever, to so many kilometers to wherever, would cost billions of dollars. And let's face it, just about everything on the planet is ruled by money. So let's not forget that. So I don't see the United States switching over anytime soon to the metric system. And as stated earlier, a lot of people, or a lot of countries that have switched over, Canada, for instance, back in the 70s, still use a mix. So nobody's 100%, it seems. All right, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, if you have automotive questions, I'd ask you head over to ericthecarguy.com. That's where your answers will be. There's going to be a welcome video there, to tell you about the features that we have at ericthecarguy.com to help you. And seriously, it will help you. If you want to connect with me socially, want to find out when my birthday is, you can connect with me on Google+, Facebook, Twitter, also Instagram. I post ETCG1 videos on Mondays, and at the end of each of my videos, I close them with be safe, have fun, stay dirty. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.